Hi students, this is a tutorial on how to use PowerPoint. And in case you are not familiar with PowerPoint, we are just going to go over the basics on how to create a PowerPoint specifically for this STORM project. All right, so when you first open up PowerPoint, this is the screen that you will see. This is kind of like a sidebar that shows you all of your slides as you keep creating them. And then this is the main slide that you're currently viewing that you can edit. And this is the standard slide that it opens up to, the standard format. It will say click to add title. So we're going to do just that. And let's say that I'm going to research Hurricane Katrina. So I will say my title is Hurricane Katrina. And then right here in my subtitle, I can write by Mrs. Baker. And I need a date, which is November 18th, 2014. All right, so there. This is a very simple title slide, and this would get you full points. However, if you'd like to add some sort of color or maybe change the font, you can do that too. So let's go ahead and you can click and drag and highlight this text, and then you can change the text just by doing this. You highlight that text, and then you go up to this text bar, and you can choose whichever one you want. So for me, I'm going to choose this one. So I change that, and then maybe I want to change this one too. I'm going to go look through here, and for this one, I'm going to choose this curl font. All right, and your key when you're making a PowerPoint is that you want to make sure that it's legible to your audience, that they can tell what it says from really far distance. And this curly font might not be the best thing for them when they're trying to read it from the back of a room. So I might change my mind and I can instead maybe go with this font. And that's really bold and dark and something that they can see from the back of the room. Would it make sense to put this in yellow? No, I shouldn't change the color to put it in yellow because it wouldn't be easy to be seen from the back of the room. I can change it to be maybe a dark blue if I want to add some color to it. And then the last thing that you can do is change the theme of your PowerPoint. And you can do that a couple of different ways. If you have the version of PowerPoint that I'm using, you'll click Slide Themes, and a bunch of different themes will come up. And maybe you'll want to use this one. You'll click on it, and it'll change the whole theme of your PowerPoint. There's a lot of different options that you can go through. Maybe you want this one. Maybe you want this one. It's up to you. You won't be graded, marked down if you don't have a specific theme. I just prefer something that looks nice and professional. All right, so there you go. You've changed your theme, and now you have a title, your name, and the date on the page. You've got all the requirements. So now we need to find how to add a new slide, and there's a couple ways that you're going to be able to do this. The first one is going to be Insert, New Slide, and I know it's just cut off on the top of your screen, I'm sorry, but you'll go to Insert and then New Slide. If you click on it, it will insert a new slide. And if you've selected a theme, it will keep that same theme for your new slide. So let's pretend that I just did that and I need to add a new title. So my next title, according to my rubric, I just pulled up the rubric for you actually. So I just did my title slide with the storm name, my name, and the date. And now I need to do my what and when slide. So let me go back to PowerPoint. And this is going to be my what and when slide. So I can say what and when, or I might even change it to the storm of 2008 or something like that. So it tells me, or I can say the hurricane of 2008. So it tells me what it is and when it is. You don't have to call it what and when, but you can if you want to. So for right now, just so you're clear and I'm clear, I'm going to say the what and when slide. And then when you need to add text, it gives you this text box automatically that you can click in and add text. So you would say the Hurricane Katrina was a hurricane. And you can use full sentences, that explain the information very clearly to your audience. And then if you push enter or return, it will give you another bullet point right here that you can add more text, and you can give another fact about Hurricane Katrina is blah, 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 and keep talking about what you need to talk about, okay? And then maybe you don't need this big box. You can make it smaller if you need to, just by clicking and dragging. And I like to have my text box centered in the page, so somewhere like that. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Then let's say you want to add a picture to your slide. You have this bar up here that you can add picture, and you can do an insert a picture or insert clip art. So if you do insert picture, it will bring up some of your pictures that you have on your computer already. And let's say that I want to add this picture. I'm going to press insert, and it's going to place it right there on the slide for me. Might be too big, and you might need to make it smaller, which I need to do. And you can just make it smaller. Okay, so that's how to do text and a picture on your page. And this text was the text that was already included on the page. What if we need to add a text box that is not included on the page? Well, there's another option right here for text box. We can click and drag, or we can click it and it'll put it on our page, or we can go to insert again and insert text box. You have a few options on insert. You can do text box, you can insert a picture, clip art, a shape, a table, even a movie or sound. So let's go ahead and do text box. And for this, do you see how my cursor turned into an A? That's because I have the ability to draw a text box. So now I have a new text box, and it might just be helpful to add some extra, like you can use this when you're adding your captions. And then once you add them, you can click and drag to put them under the picture or even on top of the picture if you need to. Make sure that if you put them on top of the picture, you change the color so you can read it. Okay, so that's how to do a text box, a picture, and some text on the page. Now, let's say that we want to add some animations to our slide, because we all love animations. So what you're going to need to do is see how I clicked in the side of this box. There's a cursor that's blinking. We don't want that cursor. We want to click on the whole object so the cursor isn't there, but the object is selected. And the way you'll know if you do that is if this 4 arrow cursor comes up right in the center. Do you see that? It's 4 arrows. You'll click on it, and that way you know it's selected. Then you will go to Format, and you will go to Slideshow on your main bar at the top, and you'll have some options here that you'll look at. You're looking for transitions and custom animation. For this one, you're going to click on Custom Animation, and then you're going to get some sort of bar. It might not look exactly like this because I have a different version of PowerPoint than you do, but you'll get some sort of bar. It usually comes up on the right-hand side. And you're going to look for Add Effect. And there's an entrance effect, there's an emphasis effect, and there's an exit effect. So the entrance, you have some options right here that it gives you. You can have it appear, you can have it fly in. Let's do that. I'm going to have it fly in. And once you click on it, it gives you a little demonstration in the background of what it's going to look like. So then maybe I also want to have it have an exit. So I want it to be a disappear. And go ahead and watch the text here when I click on it. Actually, I'm going to do fade. So go ahead and watch this text. When I click fade, watch what happens. See, it gives a little preview and it fades away. So that's what's going to happen when I have it exit. And both of these right now are set so that they enter and exit on my click. So when I click the mouse or my presentation clicker, these effects will happen. If this is your first time using PowerPoint and you haven't done it before, do not worry about animations or effects. This is just if you're bored with making a PowerPoint and you want to add some extra little features. You do not need to do this for a requirement for the presentation. It's just for fun. Alright, so once you're done with that, you can close out of that sidebar. And you've got your what and when and all of your information that you need. And when you're ready, you can go back and add more slides. You can go to Insert a New Slide, or you can click the New Slide icon right here. New slide, new slide. I think we need 6 slides. So I'm just going to add all 6 right here. And as you can see on this sidebar, I have all 6 of my slides that are previewing. And you can see I have my title page, I have my what and when page. My next page is going to be my where page. And I'm going to need to add information about where it is, where it took place. And then I also need to add an image. And do you remember how to add an image? Well, for this one, I need to actually add a map specifically. So for me, I'm going to go open up my internet. And once I open it, I'm going to type in Hurricane Katrina. And I'm going to say weather map so I can try to see if I get some images for it. And ooh, I see some images here. Nice, these are really good ones. So you have a couple options that you can look at. You can click on the image to view it larger, and then you can right click on the image. So it gives you the option of copy the image. So let's try that first. Let's copy the image, and then let's go into here onto your page, and then you right click again and you press paste. Oh, and there it goes. It worked perfectly. So here's the image on your new page, on your slide. And now I have the weather map and an image, or I have the information about where it took place, and I have the image on my slide. That's all you need to get your points for this slide. That's it. If your computer didn't like it when you did the copy and paste option, you can do this instead. I'm going to delete it just to show you. You can go back to your internet where you found the image. You can right click again, and you can push Save Image As. You'll click that, and it'll give you an option of what you want to say it or save it as. And I'm just going to title it Katrina Weather Map. And I'm going to save it to my Earth Science folder, and I'll press Save. All right, then you can see it went right here and it saved it for me. Then when I go back to my slide, I'm going to do Insert Picture. And my picture will be, remember I saved it to my Earth Science file, so my picture will be somewhere in here. I saved it as Hurricane Katrina. It should be in here. Let me find it. Here it is. Sorry, I overlooked it. Here's my Katrina weather map, and it's a JPEG. That means it's a picture file. So I just click Insert, and there it is again for me to use. So if your computer only works one way or the other, please just use whatever works for you. And then you can drag it around the page, move it wherever you want to. All right. Then the last thing that you need to do is once you get all of your slides up and finished, you need to go through and check for any spelling errors. So let's say that I type in hurricane and I type it wrong. I type it like this. A red line comes up underneath it. That red line tells me that it's spelled incorrectly. So you have two choices. You can right click on the word and it'll give you some options of what you meant to say. And I meant to say hurricane, so I can click on it and it will replace it for me. All right, that's my first option. My second option is to go to Tools and click on Spelling or Spell Check. Click on that, and this box comes up that conveniently tells me which word I might have meant to say. And actually, hurricane isn't on there, so I just need to find out the correct way to spell it. So I'm going to have to type it in and press change. And then it'll tell you the spell check is complete. So now I know that all of my slides are complete and correct in their spelling. And that's something very important to earn all of your full points for your presentation. Again, please utilize resources online or use family and friends to answer any questions that you might have about this project and how to use PowerPoint. If you run across any questions, please email me, but just remember that I am in meetings and it might take me a little bit longer to get back to you than normal. All right, good luck, and I'll talk to you very soon.